What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome on into a special interview edition of the SEScoops Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Zack Heydorn, managing editor at SEScoops, and with me today, TNA superstar, TNA Knockout, former Knockouts Tag Team Champion, Killer Kelly. Kelly, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
It's boy, TNA. We'll just call it TNA for the sake of consistency here.
Yeah.
Man, what a weekend you guys just had. Coming off a major pay-per-view event, Hard to Kill, one of the most successful TNA pay-per-views in the last 10 years by a lot of metrics. I just want to pick your brain as to how that type of success makes you feel as part of a member of the TNA roster, and kind of what the sense was backstage at such a major event like that.
Oh my God. I have to say, first thing that comes to my mind is crazy. It is crazy how the rebranding just brought a new, everyone is so happy backstage. Everyone is so excited to be part of TNA. Like, people from the roster, people that aren't from the roster that just went there, like Will Ospreay. He was just a kid, super happy to be a part of TNA. Like, everyone, it was a crazy atmosphere. The fans, the production people, the wrestlers, everyone just so excited for Hard to Kill. I can't even tell you, like, every single person that as soon as we arrived at the venue, and every single person that saw the tunnel, they just freaked out. I started screaming like, oh my God, this is so cool. It looks like I'm 12, 13 years old again, and there's the tunnel again. This is so cool. So everything, it was just it was kind of a blur, because it passed like so quickly. Sure. That I couldn't even really live in the moment. It was just crazy. Like, I went there also not knowing that I would have a match. So being on the main card for Hard to Kill, for one of the biggest shows of TNA in 10 years, it was surreal to me. It's surreal. That's the word. Surreal.
Yeah, I mean, like, I got it. That must do wonders for, backstage morale to in the locker room, to just kind of know that you guys are all like pulling on the same rope together. And yeah, obviously you all have your individual goals, and you want to, be the best you can be and have the best match, I'm sure. But boy, I mean, having that feeling has to, bring the locker room together at least a little bit, I would imagine, right?
Yes. Everyone just wanted to show out. Everyone was like, oh, we're going to show what TNA is all about. And everyone did.
Yeah. How do you, as performers, and as somebody who, clearly has a, personal connection to, the nostalgia of TNA, how do you guys balance, being able to kind of live that nostalgia and pop for it, but also know that it's your responsibility as wrestlers for the company to take those letters and that brand, into the future. So it's not just nostalgia, but it's, the future of the company too, that's on your shoulders.
Yeah, well, it's huge shoes to fill, especially being a TNA Knockout right now.
Sure, yeah.
Gil Kim, ODB, and Awesome Kong, like, they're huge shoes to fill. So we do live in that nostalgia. For example, the tunnel, just seeing the tunnel brought everyone like huge smiles on their faces. But I have to admit, like, first I was like, oh my God, I am in TNA. This is crazy. Let me soak it in and just live in the moment. And then it snapped in my head. I was like, oh my God, now we're creating a new era of TNA. Like, this is huge. Like, this is a huge responsibility. But this locker room is hungry, and we're going to create some amazing legacies for the next 10 years to come. People will remember this roster because everyone is just excited to show out and show what we're all about. And of course, everyone wants to be the next AJ Styles, but everyone will remember Josh Alexander the same as AJ Styles. That's my opinion. Like, this roster is great. Everyone will see Gail Kim and Jordan Grace. Like, it's an amazing roster that we have, and they're huge shoes to fill, but we're gonna get there.
So you've spent kind of like your recent time like in a tag team with Masha Slamovich. Very, very fun run that you guys are on together as a team, but it didn't start there. It did not start there. You guys had quite a rivalry most recently over the summer, and it not only was it fun to watch, but the matches were intense. They seemed really personal. I'll get to the tag team in a minute, but I just want to like kind of pick your brain on like that singles feud that you had with her. There seemed to be so much chemistry there as enemies. What went into that feud, and how did you guys find like the same wavelength to be on, whether it was a match or a promo or what have you? It always was really buttoned up and really crisp and really well done. And just what goes into that as half of that equation?
Well, the thing is, we were very lucky that we're very alike. Very, very alike. So it wasn't hard at all to get on that level and to have that chemistry. It just popped up. We didn't even have to force it. It was just natural to us. So in our rivalry, you could see how close we are in everything, almost everything. So it created amazing matches. That dog collar match, it was one of my favorite matches ever. We've created history together, and it's just that chemistry. Like you can't make it up. It was there the moment we had our first lockup.
How do you guys? So the dog collar match was a big match from over the summer, and I, knowing kind of, so the match gets booked and you're like, all right, we're going to have this dog collar match now. And I'm sure you've seen all of them. And like, I don't mean like to ask a question like, how do you like one up the other matches, but how do you mentally prepare for like that kind of match and like the violence that it has to have in it, but yet the storytelling at the same time? Like, there's a lot that goes into it, I would assume, because there's something poetic these days about like a really good dog collar match, because it's such a dark and twisted type of match.
Yeah.
How do you guys like kind of play into history but paint your own picture with that gimmick?
Not to toot our own horns, but it was quite easy to get into that. Like, we didn't spend a lot of time thinking about that. It was literally, we got in that day and we're like, okay, let's obviously see how the chain and the dog collar like feel, because we haven't done anything like that before. It was literally on the day, like a few hours before the match, we're like, oh, this is quite heavy. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this. But it was so easy and so quick just to come up with ideas. And of course, we had Tommy Dreamer just there overly excited helping us with the match. And it was like, I hate saying this, but it was so easy for us. It was just like, because we have the same mind and we are a little bit twisted in our own ways, that match, it was just easy to put up. And the storytelling, everything, it was just like, it was a beautiful ending to our little feud, and a beautiful ending, a beautiful start to the relationship of Masha and Killer Kelly. It was just perfect. It's perfect in all the ways. I'm saying perfect. It was just, I'm just remembering Black Swan. That was it. I was just being like, it's perfect.
Well, I mean, it did flow so nicely. It's almost like you went through this whole journey, and like by the end, the two characters like just respected one another too much to go their separate ways. It was like you guys were connected forever after that.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was. It really was. Do you Are there any nerves before going into a match like that, like the execution in terms of like the level of violence and the other, like the risky spots that are inherent in something like that?
Yeah, we were so we were very, very nervous about how the whole chain situation was going to go,
Okay.
because especially Masha, she moves around a lot. And we were just like, we're gonna get stuck. We're gonna get stuck somewhere. We're gonna trip and fall, and everyone will laugh. We were just worrying about that, just getting stuck, of not being able to move with the chain. But it just, I honestly don't know how, but it just flowed perfectly. Like no mishaps, nothing bad happened. We were very lucky. But we were very nervous about that. We were just joking before the match, being like, yep, we're just gonna, fall on our asses and probably die. But everything went perfect. So thank God.
Yes, yes, for sure. So what's it like going from an intense, program like that as a singles act in TNA to moving into, a tag team? Like you said, it was a really perfect story with a lot of synergy and connectivity there. But, you are kind of change. I assume that, the mindset changes a little bit as somebody in a tag team. How did that, how does your mindset change, and how does like the work week to week, month to month change for you in that type of situation, or does it not?
Well, I've never been part of a tag team before, so that was a little challenging for me. But with Masha, everything is just easy. It's just easy. She has great ideas. She knows what to do in the ring, outside of the ring, and we actually, like, even in the promos or the way we interact in the ring, nothing is scripted. Like we
Hmm.
just feed off each other. It was just like we have this perfect chemistry that we don't even need to write for. It's easy. It's so easy to be in a tag team with her. We have same minds, same twisted minds, and we just feed off each other. And she helped me a lot being like how to be in a tag team, and she has like a perfect mind for wrestling. And I'm very lucky that she is my partner. And yeah, I'm loving being part of a tag team. I'm loving being part of MK Ultra, and I feel like this tag team has longevity, and people love us. We love being part of MK Ultra, and this is just a perfect tag team in my opinion.
uh, Masha Slamovich, better opponent or better partner?
Oh my god. No, it's 50-50 because I love
50-50.
wrestling her. I love wrestling her. It's so easy, but I love being a part of a tag team with her as well. So it's neck and neck.
Okay, okay. Um, so who else on the roster, like either a tag team or as a singles competitor, who else stands out as somebody or as another talent that you really want to work with that you haven't been able to work with yet?
So I've never had a singles match with Jordan Grace ever.
Okay.
So that is like one match that I would love to have, just to, push me to my limits. Because every single person that you see wrestle her, they just go like up, they go to another level when they step in the ring with her. So I would love to do that. She would beat my ass probably, but I would love it. Um, who else? There's a lot of people. Well, I feel like now I've worked almost everyone.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a tough question because you've worked so many like of
Yeah, but
wrestlers.
not
But Jordan
Jordan.
Grace makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Not Jordan. I'm really sad that Mickey isn't around with us anymore, because that was like one of my bucket lists. Definitely Gil Kim as well. So maybe one day they'll just come back and wrestle us.
So TNA just has a ton of momentum right now, coming out of a really really strong weekend on pay per view. Upcoming shows this weekend in Orlando, somewhere where it's warm, which which is
No
good.
snowstorms.
Yeah, no snow, no cold, just warm, good weather. So I have two questions in regards to kind of that. The first being more broad, like with the momentum that you guys have right now, how do you guys sustain that? I mean, how do you sustain it as a company? How do you sustain it as just a performer, just on on your level. Like, talk a little bit about like the expectations that come along with really strong shows like Hard to Kill.
Yeah. Well, we have big shoes to fill, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we do. But have you seen our roster? Like, we're all hungry, and we on pay-per-view, Hard to Kill. Like, every single person showed out, and they show what this new TNA is going to be all about. We have big shoes to fill, but with the roster that we have, I'm pretty sure that we'll fill them instantly. Especially coming off Hard to Kill, everyone's momentum coming from there, and just you know, just you look at the past, you look at the Samoa Joes, the AJ Styles, the Gail Kim, Awesome Kong. You look at all of that, but now we have AJ Styles, we have Josh Alexander, Awesome Kong, we have Jordan Grace. Like, we are ready to create our new TNA legacy, and the future is bright. It is really bright.
That's such a strong statement. I mean, especially like when you're comparing like current talent to those names. I mean, it's I mean, that's a big comparison to make, but it's an accurate one.
Yeah,
Given where things are, I
I'm
think
confident. I am
yeah,
confident. Yeah.
yeah. What about the future for you? I mean, we talked a little about working Jordan Grace, but you've done so much, in TNA already, and you've held, you've had a major singles feud this year. You've been tag team champions. You've now like been with Masha as a like regular tag team act. What else is on your list of things to do in TNA?
Well, number one priority is me and Masha. We need to regain those TNA tag team championships. That is the number one priority, because those looked too good on us for them to slip away. We need them, and we already made history as being the longest reigning Impact tag team champions, 182 days. So now we're gonna do the same with the TNA championships.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a mission statement from Killer
Yes.
Kelly. Big weekend for TNA down in Orlando. Shows on the 19th and 20th. You can get your tickets now. Killer Kelly, thank you so much for your time. I know you've been busy and you've got work to attend to, so we definitely appreciate you talking with us today. Have a great weekend and good luck.
Thank you so much, Zach. It was a pleasure.